Welcome to Game Over Gerkinman, the Wind Waker HD playthrough for this week. I have some guests with me this week, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Well, let's let the new guy go first.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks. Well, I'm not new, but I missed out last
Oh.
episode. Hello, I am Flordo, as you may recognise my voice, maybe not. And yeah, you can look up my shit if you want to. Sorry about the swearing, but yeah. G'day.
Hi everyone, it's Namir again. If you weren't with us last week, I make videos on video games. Fun stuff.
That's true. And of course,
Oh god, I love this guy so much. I'm sorry, that was too perfect as soon as my intro
He's
started.
got the worst haircut I've ever seen. That's
He's so
why
gay.
he wears that bandana thing.
There are some bad haircuts in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, Blotto. So since you weren't here last week, you get to answer go through a few of the things that we did last week.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact that you have played this game
I have.
and owned it. In fact,
I owned it, and it came with the Ocarina of Time CD. Yeah, it's probably my favourite Zelda game, as it is with everyone else. It's just amazing. It's incredible.
Hang on, I thought Twilight
Yes?
Princess was your favorite.
Did I say that?
You did
I
say
can't
that
remember.
before. You've said Twilight Princess was your favorite of the
Oh,
series.
one of the two. Maybe I rate them the same. I don't know. I always get confused.
Wind Waker's much better than Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I think it probably just edges it, but maybe a lot. I don't know. But yeah, it's good. It's what's not to love about it. The style. I don't care what other people say about the style. I loved it when I first got it. Some people
Yeah.
didn't when they first got it, and then they loved it afterwards, like it grew on them or something. But for me, because I like the cartoony sort of style and the cell shaded graphic style, I just really pleasing on the eyes for me, and the gameplay was just incredibly good. Just
Exactly.
nothing
And I think
bad
it
to
works
say
for
about
this sort of I think it works for this type of Zelda game because I really can't imagine spending, half the gameplay in like a Twilight Princess sort of
Yeah.
style.
Well,
you
I think
know?
they've written the story around the art style as well. Like you couldn't have like a Twilight Princess storyline in a game
Yeah.
that looked like this. It'd just be weird.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
definitely-
So
it's
it
got a
works,
fun
you know.
style.
I'll actually have a look later on to see if there's any Twilight Princess cell shaded texture packs. I know I've seen a Skyward Sword one, and it looked
Really?
hella awkward. Yeah, like the whole
Wow,
tone
I've
of the
gotta see
game's
that.
ruined by having that sort of like brighter color palette.
Huh.
But yeah. So yeah. So yes. Do you have any particular like fond memories or anything that stands out from back in the day of actually playing this wonderful adventure?
I think just the immediate sort of impact as soon as you play it sort of hits you straight away, and you sort of get immersed in the game, and you sort of just take it in as you go, and you don't know what to expect, and just sailing on the seas, that part in particular was really refreshing, I think, compared to the other Zelda games, just being able to sail and adventure and not know what to expect.
I mean, you like the part that everyone complained about.
I
Oh,
love
no.
that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end, not so much, because you sort of just wanted to have a bit of a shortcut. You'd think there'd be some sort of easier way to get around.
Well,
but-
there's the Jess always argues that there's the warp cyclones, but they alleviate the problem a bit, but it's still
yeah,
really
still a little bit
long.
of travelling. But you sort of, I don't know, you sort of forget about it and don't really care about it as much. Well, for me anyway, I didn't really care so much. I just wanted to see what I could find and, just take it for what it was.
Yeah. I don't think it
Every
bothered me
game
the
has its
first
flaws.
time the first time I played through it. I don't think the sailing at the end bothered me at all. But it's on
Yeah.
repeat plays that it's like, I just want to get to the.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, it's just one of those games. It's little sections like this that you just don't. Like I can't remember anything like this in any previous Zelda game. Certainly not in Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Like you could say this is a tutorial, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
The whole first hour is a tutorial, but it's really natural feeling. Whereas Twilight Princess I remember being a series of fetch quests, which is
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the like being a tutorial part of the game, you're still actually doing something that revolves around the plot,
yeah,
and you're not just pussyfooting around,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think one thing, like, because like in every episode we'll be talking about the visuals that are going on at this particular time, and I believe the majority of the next segment is it's all nighttime, and it's weird going back to that now. Like I never noticed just like how that bloom lighting is actually a lot more subtle at night. It actually looks quite
It looks nice.
realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
actually
like the
didn't
way they've
notice.
done it. They've really touched up those sort of things. Yeah, it looks really nice, I reckon.
Well, I know the bloom lighting is one of those things that kind of like people have different opinions on. Some people think it's ruined the look.
Really? I guess
Well, 'cause
it
it's-
depends what style you're using it for as well.
Yeah, well, because the original Wind Waker had those really harsh shadows, which are still there in
Yeah.
most of this game. But then there's a segments where like you pick up an item or you're near a light source, and all of a sudden they look
That's right, yeah.
like it looks like
Yeah.
a different art
They look
style
like clay
entirely.
models or something.
Yeah, it looks like a bit like clay models, which is fine if the whole game looked like that. But I think it's just cutting back and forth between those two things makes it kind of
Clashes
jarring,
a
I
bit.
suppose. Yeah, like it's not, it doesn't feel cohesive visually at those moments. But yeah, the rest of it's
It's weird, like in the sunlight he looks fine, but it's just in the fiery type of lights he looks weird. Like,
Yeah.
Why'd they decide to do it for that?
I don't
Why
know.
not
It's, yeah, that's the thing that bothers me about it. Like it's inconsistently used. I think this is probably a good moment too to talk about the humor in the game. So we didn't talk about it last time.
Oh yeah, there's both.
Yeah,
Probably the first real major piece
Just-
of
the amount of like accumulated probably about an hour at least every playthrough of just like letting it sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes, just listening to him like, and his face too. And
it's the waving and that one guy who's trying to see where he's going. It's brilliant. And even the idea of hitting the wall and losing his sword, it's kind of like an old comedy staple. Oh, lovely.
it works though. Like, you know, you couldn't see that sort of thing in, you know, Ocarina of Time or Twilight
No.
Princess. You know, like
Yeah.
it all just
Sure.
boils down.
Even though it's got comedy to it, it still feels like a very sort of, still has that dark Zelda vibe about it.
It definitely
Even
does
like-
in parts. And I
yeah.
think like the Redeads in this game, even though they don't sound as creepy as the ones in Ocarina of Time, they look a
They
hell of a
look
lot
creepier, yeah.
creepier.
I don't imagine the the Redead sound of the Ocarina of Time Redeads with the look of the Wind Waker Redeads. I would piss myself.
They're pretty creepy. But we'll get to those Redeads in like 20 episodes. There's 26 of these,
Yay.
by the way, so strap yourselves in.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about this game for quite some time. This is an interesting part of the game too, like having you lose your weapon at the start of the game, so that you kind of had to. I think Miyamoto cited Metal Gear Solid as an inspiration for this.
I remember just being
Segment.
way too careful on this. I used to freak out for no reason.
Yeah,
Be very sketchy, but I've seen like people play this game and just completely blitz through this part without even worrying about the guards and getting past something. Jeez, wish I could do that.
yeah. Some of those speedrunners are insane through this part. I mean, like I think in this playthrough, only took me like 15 minutes max. I remember the first time I played it, it was like hours of tiptoeing around, getting caught, pulling yourself out of the dungeon. But once you kind of understand how the mechanics of it work, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just, you know, like, you know, the first few times at least that you play, it's that natural instinct of, oh, the music sounds very, you know, like I need
Ominous.
to,
Yeah.
yeah,
careful,
and
yeah.
you know, you have the searchlights everywhere, you have the strategically placed barrels. It's like that instinctual fear of, okay, I have to stop and hide, and
And it's kind of like you don't know what's around, so you don't want to take the barrel off on your first playthrough, espashly like I
Yeah,
know what's around the
exactly.
corner, so I'm going to keep this on in case there's something.
just like you did.
Just like I did. 'Cause you walk so much faster carrying a barrel on your head.
It looks like you haven't played this game in a long time, seeing this playthrough.
It's probably the first time in 6 to 7 years, I'd say.
Wow. Does it feel like the first time or not really?
There were moments in some of the dungeons, which I thankfully cut out in editing, because otherwise it would have taken years, where like a puzzle that I'd done, I don't know how many times, stumped me. Like I just couldn't
Yeah.
remember we couldn't remember like the solutions to the puzzles and things like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Sort of like in that sense. But then like looking at the actual graphics in that, it kind of like it looks how I remember it looking in my head.
Yeah.
You go back to it and play it on the original GameCube, and it doesn't look how you remember it. You kind of look at like it still looks great, but you're still looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. Whereas, seeing it on this was like, yeah, it's just how I remember, but with more bloom lighting. But yeah, this is a prime example of me forgetting what to do after all these
How
years.
cute are those sound effects?
Yeah.
The design in general of the moblins and the goblins in this game, I absolutely love. Like the set, like especially the pig guys. Like you compare them to the pigs in Skyward Sword that look absolutely terrible.
I'm trying to remember that now, what they look like in that game. But I
They
just
look
can't
like,
picture
like
it.
fat, dumb, big, bubbly nose, stupid. Dumb.
See, that's how forgetful that game is to me.
Oh, I'll get to Skyward Sword because I've never finished it. So I gotta get. Like the only way I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it is to record myself playing it.
That's it.
We can complain about Skyward Sword all we like then. I got up to the second temple in it and I was starting to have fun a little bit.
Yeah. It was alright in patches, I guess, but some of it, to me, I felt, oh no, we should save this for another gameplay video, I guess. But
I don't know, we've got a lot, there's a lot of time and we can...
I just felt it was very repetitive, the other Skyward Sword game, and I'd rather forget about it. Not much adventuring either, really. Like, I was really surprised it wasn't.
From what I saw, like Rio's, there's a lot of the same environments and just kind of changes what's happening in them.
Flying was tedious. I found that way more tedious than sailing, to be honest. There's no point of it. There's no point of flying around when you can't adventure anywhere.
The one thing I have seen from Skyward Sword that does look like I really want to do it is that that boss battle with that big silver, the big golden shiny statue guy.
Colossus?
Yeah, and you rip his arms off and cut him up with his own sword.
That was a pretty epic boss fight.
A lot of people have put it up there with like some of the best, as one of the best fights in the whole series.
Yeah, it was pretty intense from memory. I can't remember if I died to him or not. Pretty challenging, I guess, for the first time.
The first playthrough, I didn't even get past the Gerkinman.
Oh, okay. You can be tough with the motion controls first, and that guy.
Yeah, I was just adjusting to the... I was just like, I can't... He just blocked everything, and eventually I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with this. And then I go back to this and the combat system in this because it is based on button tapping and the parry system, which I think was a massive step forward for the series that was unfortunately lost with Twilight Princess. I think because of the motion controls being added in later.
Oh yeah.
Although Twilight Princess did add the moves you could learn from the Dead Link.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Some of those.
I never even used them. Really?
I used that downward stab one a lot.
Oh, that was the most common one, I guess.
Because that's like the one thing in this game that I kind of missed from that. I was like, I knock one of these guys down, and then you keep swinging at them, and it doesn't hurt them until they get back up again.
Yeah. They didn't have a finishing move in this, did they?
No, you just have to wait till they get back up again, and then keep cutting at them. It's like, just let me kill them while they're on the ground. But that's about as far as my complaints went with the combat in this.
I really love if they make another sort of sequel-ish sort of game for the Wii U for Wind Waker or something in the same style. I think that'd be awesome.
I think from what Nintendo have been saying, the new one's going to be like a cross between Skyward Sword and a slightly more realistic style.
What, like Twilight Princess or something? Maybe?
Not quite Twilight Princess. Everyone,
okay.
I think I brought this up in the last one, but you weren't here. Everyone cites Twilight Princess as like the more realistic looking Zelda, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It looks like a bad 3D anime. How is that remotely realistic?
Yeah, some of the character models in that game were...
Yeah.
Telma was cool though.
Everyone loves Telma.
Who was cool?
Telma.
Oh,
The barmaid with the big jugs.
Everybody knows Telma. I think that was her name, Telma. Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
that game had some weird things in it. I'll probably play through that later on too. I've played through that game quite a few times now.
Yeah, I've been in it a few times myself.
I enjoy it. It's a love-hate relationship with that game. It's Wind
You just
Waker
skipped
is
a
all
treasure
love.
chest.
I don't need no treasure chests.
Don't need compasses or maps.
Not for this part.
Figured
no.
this shit out on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
A lot of backtracking.
I do hate the way every time you walk out one of these things, the camera pans up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just letting you know that you still got stuff to do.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, thanks.
Look up there,
Like,
you
look how
dead
close
mouse.
you are.
Look, there are seagulls up there. Go up there. Yeah, go it the first time. Cheers.
Gee, I wonder how we know that that's the room that Errol is in.
You mean it's the same room you've pointed to 5 times already? Oh, I know. I did like this mechanic. I remember the first few times I played through this, I never bothered with the lights, and then you get up to the part where you had to like
Yeah,
settle
bad
across the
mistake.
wall, and the cannonballs are just... and then trying to find ways to like dodge the cannonballs without having
Yeah.
to do the lights.
I think everyone tried that.
Yeah, but I do like the fact that if you do take the lights out in this part, when you come back here later, they're still off. Whereas if you leave them on, when you come back the second time, they're still on, which is kind of
Oh really?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh okay.
little detail. But
So I fixed a few things.
I think it did that in the GameCube one as well. I'm not
Oh okay, did it? Can't remember.
I don't remember because I know whenever you come back to fight the Helmarok King,
yeah.
I'm almost positive that the lights are down again
Yeah.
because they all like whenever after you beat him, the lights all go up to him. I think.
Do they?
I don't remember. I don't
We'll
remember.
find out as we're playing through. I don't remember either. I thought that's what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just talking out my ass.
I think once you
Maybe.
kill them, it stays that way.
Yeah.
The game just assumes that you've done the right thing.
It assumes you've played correctly.
Oh, you still haven't faced one of these pig things yet.
Yeah, well, they're coming up. They're moblins, right?
I
Moblins,
think
yes.
so, yeah.
Yeah. The moblins in yeah, I can't stop like getting mad about the moblins in Skyward Sword. In fact, I'll put up a
Skyward, yeah.
picture of the two side by side in this video right now.
Oh, look at that.
Amazing!
Oh.
Look at the difference.
God.
Yep. I hope I remember to add that. I better write that down in my notepad. Add pictures of pigmen. Oh, also, there was a question was raised last week,
Oh, yes.
because we were making fun of Dylan for having played the CDI Quest for Gamelon Legend
Oh, well.
or whatever.
Faces of Evil.
Faces
Yeah.
of Evil or one of those CDI games.
Oh,
that joke
boy.
that joke had no basis as the CDI never actually was released in Australia.
Was that actually a real game?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. There was 3
I
Zelda
thought it
games for
was
the
like
CDI.
I thought it was a meme created by people, like it wasn't real.
No,
No, it's a real
it
game.
was real.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Far out.
The
Was it
CD
anything like a Zelda game or not at all?
Nah.
Doesn't look like it would
No.
Nah.
The only thing was some items and
Zelda
a
was
few
in it.
of the characters. I just wanted to take a sec. This part right here where you have to like, you just breezed right through it. You just walked right past them.
Yeah.
But like, anytime a guard would see you and there would be that like,
be. Oh,
that really weird noise and like it would shake. Like, oh, that
Yeah.
used to like,
Put you on
heart
edge,
pounding. Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
There was like a little bit of a motion blur from memory. Like the camera
Mm-hmm.
like zoomed out a little bit. Or zoomed
Yeah.
in on them. I don't know, I didn't get caught, so I can't say for sure which of the two.
Always gave me a heart attack. Always.
But yeah,
Because you're like,
the way they animated these guys really I love it. I love the way these guys move, the little subtle
Bring more to
movements,
life.
the necklace jingling, the lip flapping around,
Just the way he struck.
the moths
Look at me,
flying
man.
around the lantern,
Got a fucking lantern in my hand.
the threads on the spear flipping around.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, they did that in the GameCube version as well, but just not as
I think the animation's identical. I think it's a
Yeah.
lot more. You can notice
Yeah.
the intricacies a lot more. This is a good example of how they changed the lighting, though. That used to be the light casted by the lamps used to be like a solid shape,
Yeah.
Yep.
and now it's a lot.
Now it actually looks like the light
Light
that would.
on it.
Yeah, it's a lot
Yes.
softer, and I think that kind of fights against the actual style in a lot of ways. Does it a disservice?
Sure
It
does.
still looks nice though.
No, yeah, it still looks lovely. Everything about this game looks lovely.
Yeah, no, whenever you compare that really soft sort of glow or
It's-
light source compared to like the toon cell shaded look of Link and say the boat, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's just one of those things where like it doesn't hurt it specifically, but it's just like why? Why did you do it? Like I just want to. Is it just because you? I think it. I don't know. I think it could just because they brought that Bloom lighting engine in and then couldn't engineer that. They couldn't engineer that old lighting in with the Bloom, as what I'm guessing it was. It was probably just coding engine lighting engine issue. But I would like to know. Maybe I can find something on Google. I'll look that up.
Most likely.
Look up reasons for lighting changes. So I'll get back to you guys next week with the answers to that, or we can look it up yourselves. I'll leave it in the comments. Whichever's easiest.
Yeah.
I like this guy. We didn't notice.
I love this boss music. The mini
Yeah.
boss music. Oh,
It's very exciting.
I love it.
Oh, you should be dead on
The
those.
big
fucks.
shit bell at the beginning.
Just getting into the jam. Oh, I love the way they explode in the little puffs of smoke. Very reminiscent of
That's a nice detail.
The Thief and the Cobbler. If anyone's seen that film, the smoke design is very similar to. Very
Can't say
similar to
that. But I do like it. I do like that style of smokiness with the little swirly, curly, whirly turlies.
Yeah, I've tried replicating it in Flash, but I can never get it to. You
Can't
think it'd be
replicate it.
easy, but it's not. This is one of those cute little moments in the game where you're like, oh boy, I did it already.
I win.
Link's face there is getting all suspicious. It's so many little subtle animations. Are just
Can't win already,
beautiful.
can I?
It's also kind of interesting that the Helm Rock King glows from inside.
Yeah, his mouth glows. I was just
That's
Like-
cool. Don't know why.
There was a one Rammstein music video where Till decided that it'd look cool if his mouth was glowing from the inside. So he just went into the dressing room and punctured a hole in his face and then stuck a little LED light in there and ran a little
Oh.
power cord down his side
What?
so that when he was performing, his mouth was glowing. There's
Well
some little,
done.
Oh.
completely unrelated to Wind Waker, but still kind of related
Things
to
you
Wind
do.
Waker trivia. I also love how obvious this game just doesn't care about Ganon. It's just like, yes, it's Ganon. You know it's Ganon.
I just like how he's fat.
I think this
I
is
mean,
my...
we spent all this time locked in the sacred realm, right? Like,
Yeah,
dude's got to
piling
put on a
pounds.
few pounds. Yeah.
I think this is that's my favorite version of Ganondorf.
Fat
Yeah, he's
Ganon,
pretty
totally.
bad.
I love Fat
Fat
Ganon.
Ganon.
When they brought Ocarina of Time and Twilight... Oh, no, sorry. It was I like Twilight Princess Ganon as well, but I prefer Wind Waker Ganondorf. Into Brawl, I was just like, oh, I want a dual katana
Yeah.
Mm.
Wind Waker Ganondorf. Maybe they'll bring him back for the new Smash
Oh, look,
Brothers.
everybody, it's John Connery.
Maybe. Well, they are doing reskins and stuff for different characters, I've heard.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
That'd
Well,
be
I mean,
pretty
like, you'd
sweet.
think about Ganondorf with the dual katanas, though, he'd fight completely differently, whereas Ganondorf in Brawl was a
He was-
Captain Falcon.
Yeah, he
Clone.
was. Beat 'em up style.
He was the exact same
Agility.
moveset as Captain Falcon. With
That's
the
right.
katanas, he'd be quite a unique combatant. But yes, everyone has Sean Connery's voice when they...
A story
This boat, he sounds like Sean Connery. It's
Did
beautiful.
I startle you?
But I like how this time, like, I'm just noticing this now because I wasn't here for this part whenever we tried this last time. But his eyebrows and just his beard and stuff. It looks like it's actually been carved,
Yeah,
and you can see all the little fine details of it. I really like that a lot.
it's beautiful. It's
Based
so
off Sean
beautiful.
Connery.
Oh, see, this is a piss off to
Right,
me
just grab
because,
him.
like, no, his name is not Ganon. His name is Ganondorf. Whenever Ganondorf is
Ganondorf.
a pig monster, that is Ganon. That's something that kind of bothered this.
Well, they obviously didn't update it. Maybe he doesn't distinct between Ganondorf and Ganon. They're just the
No, I know, but that was always how it was. It was like
well,
Ganondorf.
always was only Ganondorf was only introduced in Ocarina of Time. It was always Ganon up until that point.
Yeah, I never understood that whole Ganondorf-Ganon connection thing.
I think it was kind of like a really bad disguise name.
Well, the only reason why he wasn't Ganondorf in Link to the Past, I believe, was a translation error or something.
Could have been.
Really? Well,
That sounds
can we
like
look
a
at
bit of
can we
case.
look into that for next month?
Yeah.
Next week too.
Some more
Absolutely.
things we'll look into later.
Ganondorf name.
If somebody doesn't already
I'm a
comment about it.
boat
We'll put it
and I
in the
don't have a
comments.
sail. I'm a useless boat.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I wonder, did he like just like cruise
He
from?
must have.
yeah, he did.
Like that's a
Tot-
far way to go,
Totally just
man.
cruised. So that's it for this week. Next
it.
week we'll be exploring Windfall Island here.
Woohoo.
It'll be a
Biggies
lovely
everywhere.
time. We're going to get ourselves a
Got some
sail.
bacon.
Friggin' kids.
So thank you, Jess. And thank you, Blordo, for joining
Thank
me in
you.
this epic adventure.
No
And,
problem.
we'll
Sweet.
see you next week when whatever comes next happens.
Haha.
Yeah.
See you then.
Catch you.